And you can go ahead and share your screen, and welcome, Sama.
Thank you. All right, I'm just going to share my screen real quick. Let me know if you can see it okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Sama Ali-Berchem. I own Portkey SEO Solutions, and I started it a little over 8.5 years ago. Today, I put together this presentation really to go through all the different things that you can do for your business online. We have multiple different tools that you can put together. So many free tools you can access online just to get your SEO strategy or online marketing strategy on point. So just to get started real quick, the goal really is when you start your business is to be found online for the services you offer, and then in the cities that you want to be found in. Local optimization is something that should be a top goal when you're setting up your business and want to get found online. So I will go into all the different things that you could possibly do for your business, different online marketing strategies that you could put together that could lead to a successful lead generation strategy for your business. So let's move on and see just some of the different types of services that you could include into your SEO strategy when you have a business set up. You obviously have your website and your Google business profile that you can use in order to optimize. And here is just a collection of a few services that you could do, which I will go into details in later on in the presentation. So just to give you a good look, you could do email campaigns, landing pages and blogs on your website. You could do Google advertising, social media, backlinking, utilize your Google business profile for posts and different types of things and engagement, directory listings, and also manage your Google Search Console account to ensure that pages on your website are being tracked. These are just a few of those things. I would like to get started with Google My Business. So this has changed its name a couple of times. Now it's also known as Google Location Pages. The app on the phone is also changed. My recommendation to most of my clients when they get anything set up online or looking to establish their website or anything else online, I always tell them to create a Google business profile, because there's really two ways organically that somebody can find you on Google. It's through your Google business profile and then your website. Of course, there's other directory listings and different things, but those things are two major online profiles that you can set up for your website, which you can utilize to continuously create content on and get found on. So, this is the first thing I would recommend to all my clients to set up even before they have a website, because it's free to set up and it will instantly get you found in at least the area that you're located in. It is a great way for you to not only link to your website or your social media profiles or different things, but also collect reviews online, get appointments set online. It can really serve as your website until your website's actually done. Also through this, you can create a Google site temporarily that can be set up as like a one-page site that is going to help you continue to have someone land on a page that you want them to land on until you're done building your actual website. Lots of our clients, in addition to having their regular website, also have a Google site set up for SEO purposes that link back and forth, and I will get into that a little bit later on. Let's also talk about the benefits of posting on your Google business profile. As you would post on social media, you should continue to use that kind of post or whatever you're putting out there in terms of content on your Google business profile as well. A big ranking factor in you showing up in the Google business profile settings, or like when someone does a search and there's 3 businesses that populate plus a paid ad, for you to really stay on top of that. Obviously, it's good to get reviews from your customers, but is engagement. So you need to utilize that profile as you would your Facebook page, as you would another social media page, as you would your website. You can continuously add posts on there. You can add events on there. You can add a lot of things that would link back to your website or other things that you're involved in the community, but use it very, very often, because higher engagement will lead to a higher ranking. I also want to move ahead and now talk about hosting platforms. Say you are getting your website, your business started, you have your Google business page up and ready to go for whenever you're able to link your website. But before we even talk about setting up a website, we need to talk about hosting. Hosting is a big question, because you want to possibly have a hosting account that has excellent service and a reasonable fee, but can also manage the bandwidth of what you want to do with your website. In our experience over the 8.5 years, we've worked with clients on multiple different hosting platforms. We've dealt with support from pretty much all of them. And then we have our favorite that we like to use because it's reasonable. It always has support available for you in multiple different ways, from instant chat to submitting requests or even phone. The grievance we've had with a lot of other hosting platforms are their price point, in addition to their terrible service. So, I mean, GoDaddy is a hit or miss for us. Sometimes it's hard to get a hold of somebody via chat. It's hard to get them to kind of help us in certain things without upselling, which is something we really don't like. SiteGround for us has always been really good with their tech support through multiple different channels. It's very user-friendly. The dashboard's very easy and updated to use. And they have free automatic daily website backups, which we absolutely enjoy for our clients. And their bandwidth and packages are very reasonable. So that's one thing I would recommend having a conversation about. Okay, so before we even get this website up or whatever platform we're choosing for the website, let's choose a good hosting platform that has a reasonable cost and excellent service. I also want to talk about SSL certificates. This is something that you just need to have on your latest website. It's got an HTTPS protocol that tells Google or other search engines that you have encryption on your website. Say you were to get hacked or something, this level of certificate for compliance does help you get some level of protection on your website. It doesn't protect from everything, but it is just a basic requirement from search engines now to help your website show up. We still see lots of websites online that show up without this. And the first screen that you go to is, oh, this website is not secure. Do you want to continue going to this website? And you kind of had to click a button and go to the next thing where the option says, okay, advance to website. Lots of people are not going to do that, especially customers that are looking for you online. The fact that they see something pop up like that is going to deter them from even visiting your site or calling you. So 100% recommend having that. This will also go into your search for hosting companies, because a lot of hosting companies include this for free in the package. Some upsell this for $75 a year or $80 a year or whatever their cost is, which is unnecessary. Choose a hosting company that includes this part of their package. Next, let's go and talk about website domains. So how to choose the right kind of domain for your business is very important. You want to pick something that has a .com extension. If you are going to do a .org or something else, make sure you get all the different combinations of that, because you don't want somebody else or a competitor to buy off the different formation of that domain. And that could be really confusing for your clients in the long run. Some companies do that so they can then sell it to you for way more. So anytime you're setting up your business, I would recommend to choose a .com extension, and any other one that would be relevant. Don't ever forget to get the .com. That would be the best one to build your SEO on. Make sure your domain name is also easy to type, to spell, to say, and remember. I would also recommend keeping numbers out of it. That kind of skews how good the domain can perform. I would also say it's sometimes good to buy multiple domains, because if there's a different combination of words that comes close to your business name, you don't want someone else to buy it out and then lead to a different website. Buy as many combinations as you can. They're pretty reasonable most of the time, between $15 to $19 a year. And choose one primary domain that you want to build your SEO off of. I always tell my clients, choose one that in some shape or form talks about the service that you do provide. You can always buy the name of your company, even though it doesn't include what service you provide, but you can always buy another one to build SEO on that would explain what you do. It's always a bonus to include the city or the state or the region that you are servicing in that domain as well. And you can buy a bunch of those as well, because that is also going to be better for local optimization and SEO search in that location. Next, I want to talk about investing in a website. So choosing a right platform for your business is very crucial. The platform you choose to build your website on can really affect everything from your ability to do SEO customization or website security or any sort of other edits and changes that you want to make on the back end. A few comparisons I wanted to make here between, say, Wix, Squarespace, and WordPress. we've worked with tons of different types of website platforms over our time working with clients, and a couple of the things that we've seen, pros and cons. Wix is not very good for complex or large scale website design. It does have limited capabilities to what you can do. Also limited data portability capabilities. However, it is very easy to customize and change for anyone, even someone with no coding knowledge or development knowledge. It is a preferred tool for a lot of graphic designers to implement their designs. And even just anybody, it has a drag and drop builder. It is also very good for SEO capabilities that we have seen in easy builder websites. So from all the easy builder websites that we have seen, Wix has way more SEO capabilities than some others, but it does have some limited integrations, and you're stuck to the Wix app store to use any sort of apps that you want to integrate into it. Squarespace is our least favorite easy builder, to be honest, because it is terrible for SEO. It's got limited and rigid design themes. It's easy to use, but not easy to customize, and extremely limited with its SEO capabilities. Analytics are always a hit or miss and hard to track other than the ones they provide. It has limited plugin options as well. We say it's the worst option for SEO pertaining to Google because it has always a very tricky way where it just, for some reason, the sitemap doesn't submit properly to Google Search Console for the pages to be tracked properly. It can work. However, when competing with different platforms like Wix or WordPress, for example, it's way, way harder to rank something like Squarespace. However, Squarespace can be good for people who have audience elsewhere. Say your audience is not on Google or Yahoo or Bing or other search engines, but your audience is coming from your social media platforms. Then it is not a bad option at all because it is easier to use for anybody. You might not be able to customize it as much as you want, but you can build what you want, you can track what you want, and you have somewhere to guide your audience from social media to this website platform. Last but not least, WordPress. It's extremely SEO friendly. It's easy to customize for people who have development skills. However, there's enough plugins and integrations to put in the back end for someone who doesn't have those skills to be able to do it. It's very easy for any external integrations as well, in addition to converting it into an e-commerce store as well. You can continuously upgrade and update this kind of platform. It's also very good for blogging and content creation and backlinking to a bunch of different types of sites that you want to, but I like the dynamic nature of it because you can continue to change it, in addition to it being very, very good with SEO. I also wanted to move on to talk about optimizing your website. So just a few checklist items on here of the things that you can do once this website is up and live. You need to set up a sitemap that you need to go ahead and register and submit to your Google Search Console account that you set up to ensure that Google is tracking your page once it's live. You always want to make sure that your images on your website are compressed and are not slowing down the website. Your website speed is a big factor in really assessing how your SEO is on your website. You want to optimize your landing pages and any content on your website, such as blog posts. You want to make sure the metadata, the alt text, the pictures, video content, internal links, and any links going out are all working and are all relevant to that particular page. You can also optimize your pages and posts for mobile. Mobile responsiveness or customization of your website may be very different than your desktop experience of the website in the nature by which people use their mobile phone. So you want to make sure that things are resizing properly. It's intuitive. The navigation is easy. People can get to what they need easily. And to make sure you have like a mobile contact bar that makes it easy for people to contact you right away as well, without them having to navigate a lot of places and do a lot of scrolling. So there's a lot of different things you can do to ensure everything's working properly. Anything in your media gallery that doesn't belong or doesn't need to be there, please delete it. Make sure you never upload videos directly to your media gallery because that will be a big reason why your website slows down. You can always put it on an external platform like YouTube and just input it into the website with a code so it plays, but technically it's being loaded from YouTube, not your website. So there's a lot of different things you can do. Make sure your social media is on there. Make sure any other profile that you're on is linked on there. These create some really good links between credible websites like Facebook or Instagram, whichever other one you're on, LinkedIn, link back to your website. Directory listings can also really help in this place. Is once your website is up and live, you can set up on directories and make sure all these other online directories link to your domain or your primary website address. Analytics and tracking. I do want to go into details with this as well of the few different things that you can do for your analytics and tracking to make sure you have a complete robust group of numbers instead of just skewed to one platform. Once you get your website set up, it's optimized, it's ready, then you really need to look into some of these different platforms. Google Search Console lets you easily monitor your website and in some cases resolve server errors, site load issues, security issues. And you can also ensure any site maintenance or adjustments to be made to it as well. It has a couple sections in there that this is where you would set up the account for free online. You would submit your sitemap to it, make sure it's being tracked. It's going to give you a live report on which pages are being tracked, which are not being tracked. What is the reason for this? How to resolve this issue? And it's also going to give you a good idea of visuals, statistics. So is your website looking fine on mobile? Is something skewed? Should you fix something? So it gives you constant reports as Google has its updates as well on what you need to be doing to keep your website fresh and showing up correctly, not only visually, but in terms of the content on there as well. It has excellent reporting on traffic, impressions, in addition to keywords that people are finding your website for and keywords that people are actually typing. So it's very good to be able to see that. You can also filter out for locations to see what is the most popular in certain locations to get an idea of your keyword strategy. Google Analytics tracking. Google Analytics syncs to your Google Search Console and they report statistics together. These can be input into your website as well for better tracking and results. It's just really nice to see the divide between online traffic sources, behavior of the demographic that is visiting your website, how many people are converting, who are not converting. For me, the best thing that I like about it, it gives you a division of the pie to see where your leads are coming from. Are they coming organically? Are they coming from ads? Are they coming from social media? There's a few different ways that it reports that is very interesting for a user to know. Google My Business, we just talked about this. It has its own analytics that are separate from website analytics. And this one just reports on that particular Google Business profile, how it's performing, what people are typing to find it, how it's showing up. That can determine your strategy as well with content creation within that Google My Business posting page. We also love SpyFu. This is free and premium. So you can just go to it for free and do some research. It only gives you a little bit of the data, not all of it, but you can also set up an account. It's pretty reasonable. This is our favorite tool to uncover what competitors are doing for our clients. So it includes keywords that competitors are targeting, what their approximate expenditure looks like per month, both in organic strategies in addition to PPC. So it gives you a really good idea of who you're competing with and where you should be in terms of your expenditure or the type of keyword count that you should target reaching in order to compete with these competitor business in these areas. Trace My IP is another tracker as well. It's a little outdated in its dashboard. However, the performance is nice to see from something that is different than Google. It kind of shows you growth over time. It shows you visits per day to your website. It gives you the most important pages that people are visiting on your website. So it gives you an idea of what to continue creating content around. It also gives you a nice breakdown of the locations people are finding you from. So you can have a good idea where all you're showing up and then what your focus area should be next. Just a little more detail again, Google Search Console, like I said, it allows you to see if your website pages are being indexed. And I think for me, that is the most important thing to see because you don't want to start creating content that's just not being tracked by Google, because if it's not tracked, it's not going to be ranked. So this is something that we like to visit very, very frequently, not only to see if things we're publishing is getting tracked, but also if to see if we needed to make a change in our keyword strategy or change some designs in a certain way that Google wants to see them. Another reason why this is really important is because when you do create new pages on your website or new content, we recommend manually submitting it to Google Search Console. to get it live tested, and it tells you if there's anything lacking in it or if it's good to go live, and then you can submit it to Google to go track that page. We do this manually every single month for several clients for any content that we create to make sure that it is up on the list to be tracked so it can be ranked. Google Analytics, again, my favorite thing about this is really getting good idea of where the traffic is coming from, also how it's showing up on different screens, in addition to locations and things like that. But yeah, really understanding the breakdown of, okay, the large amount of clients of ours are coming organically online or from social media or from email campaigns or from ads. Google My Business is the same as we talked about earlier. Just using this as a website or a primary social media page is the best way to use it to make sure it's showing up in multiple different areas. Moving on to social media profiles, obviously having a presence on social media is essential for businesses that are looking to compete today. There's so many different platforms that you can get on. So I'm gonna just show you just a few of them that we have dealt with in the past with some of our clients. My recommendation to any business owner is to set up accounts on all of these. You don't have to use all of them, but you can set up an account for your business on all of them because it does give you a backlink to your website from these really, really highly ranked platforms. But I would suggest choosing 2 to 3 that you can really stick to in your social media marketing strategy. It's essential for you to really grow your business, have that additional online presence other than showing up on search engines, brand exposure, grow your audience, get reviews and referrals. And people like to hear from people. So it's one way where you can really get feedback from people who follow your page, ask questions, and also connect and do business. I just wanted to focus on 3 of them today. So Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, just very minimal statistics and things when considering which social media platform you should choose for your business is understanding the demographic. So TikTok's target audience in the US has about 80 million monthly active users. 60% are female, 40% are male, 60% are between the ages of 16 to 24, 26% are between the ages of 25, 44. So as a business owner, when you are starting that business, you need to have an idea who your target audience is, what do they look like, what do they do, how old are they. That will help you determine which platform you want to pick to really stick to. Our recommendation for TikTok is to post 3 times a day for 60 days at least to start, to see what kind of followership you can gain. Short videos is where all the interest is these days, and they're the most trending. Sounds are pretty short. People don't have a very large attention span to stay on for a long time. So you want to make sure you get your message across really fast. You can take advantage of all the hashtags that they have available. There's also tons and tons of information out there from TikTok influencers that specialize in TikTok growth, which you can follow and recreate content from, say, popular sounds. This is something that is very hard to plan for in advance because a lot of the trending things that come up are so quick and last a short period of time that you need someone completely dedicated to this, creating this content and fitting what's popular. And then Facebook target audience is a different kind of demographic group, ages between 25 and 35 years, around 7 and 10 US adults use Facebook. And the seniors are the smallest demographic on this, however, way more than obviously TikTok or Instagram. For Facebook, we recommend, posting 3 times a week, auto sharing your Instagram posts or on Facebook as well is a good way to go about it. You can do this through Facebook Creator Studio, which is a free tool to use. You are limited in how many posts you can do in advance. However, if you want a free tool to auto schedule things out, you can use that. Facebook now also has videos, or Facebook Reels, as you call them. It has adopted the same thing as Instagram Reels, so you're able to really share content that way as well. What I like Facebook for a lot in comparison to, say, TikTok or Instagram is that you can share links. So if you have events or you have different blog posts that you're publishing on your website or email campaigns, the things that have gone out, you can share those links. We love to use it for this purpose for backlinking. Anything that we share, which is a good piece of content on the website or an email campaign, is also then cross-shared on social media to link back to the website. So I do love it for those kind of purposes, in addition to community and neighborhood groups. Depending on the type of business you are in, some of these neighborhood groups that you can get in are very custom Facebook group communities, depending on the type of service that you provide, are very, very beneficial. And a lot of people are getting business through there. If you're familiar with Nextdoor app, it's very similar to that, getting into neighborhood groups on Facebook, in addition to community or business specific groups where you can share your content and also get a bigger outreach. Instagram. Target audience is 58.4% are female, 51.6% are male. 31.2% of Instagram users are 25 to 34-year-olds, out of which 25 to 34 age group, 16.4% are male, 14.8% are female users. So you can see Instagram here is kind of like TikTok and Facebook together. It does reach a bigger audience and demographic. But again, use of this will be a little bit different than the other two platforms. You can post 3 days a week at least. You can post 3 reels a week or more. Reels are where all the attention is at right now. And you can see a lot of influencers have moved to just doing reels instead of static posts. I still say stick with the static posts, but creating video content is pretty much top over here. And you can get the most followers from that. Take advantage of hashtags on Instagram as well. And they have also increased the number of links that you can share. It used to be just one link on your profile. Now you can share more. You can also do stories every single day, which is really great with this platform, which you can also do in TikTok. And Facebook is where you have live stories every day that you can share, and you can also put links in those stories. You can save those stories in highlights as well. So those links are always active based on the type of thing that you shared. And here is just a quick example of some of the static posts that you can do both on Facebook and Instagram. You can also do pictures on TikTok now as well. Moving on to email marketing. So email marketing obviously is very, very important as well, really depending on the type of business you are in. Whether you have repeat customers, whether you just want to send out newsletters, if you have a robust list of audience, people you've sold to before, of referral partners that you have, this is a great way to stay top of mind in front of them. So when you are creating content for your website or creating content for social media and have a good piece of content, I always tell my clients to make sure it's not wasted and should be shared all across the board in front of as many audiences as you can get in front of. Here, I've just put some examples of different types of platforms you can use. There's MailChimp, there's HubSpot, there's Constant Contact, ActiveCampaign. We have used HubSpot, Constant Contact, and MailChimp several times. They all have a few different perks and cons, I would say. Constant Contact, I think, is pretty reasonable compared to MailChimp, for example. Has a very easy drag and drop interface. MailChimp has an easy drag and drop interface. It is a little pricey, but they all have free platforms up to a certain amount of audience size that you have. Now, if you want a lot of different segments from, different types of customers, different types of services you have sold, I think the beauty in this is really customizing those audience lists of yours and then curating email campaigns, newsletters, updates, promotions, coupons, anything that you have going out to those specific audiences and keep it relevant to them. You can also set up automations, which will follow up with people who have interacted with the email campaign. So it gives you a little more information about the people interacting, but also they get follow-ups, which is really a sort of a retargeting that you've pre-set up for them. It's a great way, like I said, to keep in front of audiences and information that you already have for these people who have interacted with your business before. But also make sure the strategy is as such and the graphics are as such, and it's custom designed in a way not to be annoying for people to see every single day, but something you can share 2, 3, 4 times a month maybe, but do not inundate your customers because it will trigger them to just go ahead and unsubscribe. I also wanted to talk about directory listings. I glossed upon this earlier a little bit, but directories are just larger websites online that list tons and tons of different resources and websites. There are different applications that you can use to set these up. When you have your, say, your Google business profile set up, your website set up, you can set up directory listings. You can use Yext, sign up Moz. There's different companies you can pay. It's pretty reasonable to set them up and have a membership per month, but it instantly gets you on, I would say it's different for each one, but I would say 45 plus directories online. Why does that benefit your business? Because you instantly get published, your domain or your website address gets published and links back to you from all these different high-ranking directories online. They direct traffic to your website and your business. You get one portal to really set up all your information that's going to be pushed out to all these directories. Some may include multiple different pages you can link to on your website. Some may include less. Some may include options for events. Some may include images. Whatever it is, these platforms take care of pushing that information out. So say you change addresses or you change a phone number or you move, everything is going to be pushed out and you can make sure that it's updated this way instead of having to manually go in and update. It's great for posting on. It's great for traffic that actually goes to these individual directories that you are on, but the backlinks are probably the best. And that's about it. Here's just a quick look at some of our local, national, and international clients. I'm just going to wrap this up here, and then I will go on to take your question and answers. If you can please put them in the Q&A section, that would be great. You can always follow us on our social media profiles. I did put my info in the chat. And then we also have a professional networking that we provide, which is open to women, racial ethnic minorities, immigrants, LGBTQIA+, religious minorities, and people with disabilities. Some of our upcoming events. And that's about it. Thank you for listening to the presentation. This is going to be shared with SCORE, so you will be able to look back at it and review and kind of go through it once again. But yeah, I'd like to go to the questions now. And I am going to...
Yeah, we've got a couple in Q&A, and then I can read you a couple that appeared in chat too.
So how do you verify Google on your own? That is one of the questions. I am trying. So I'm trying to understand the question. So verify your Google business profile, you mean? If you're concerned with the Google business profile verification, then that can be done when you are setting up the profile. They will prompt you and tell you what needs to be done. In some cases, if it's a business at a particular location, they will tell you what they require of you to do to determine if they can verify the place or not. For example, they might ask you to log into setting up your Google business profile and provide a video of you walking through your office and at the location that you're at your address. If you're in a home office, they might have you do the same thing, and then you can show them like a letterhead or your desk space where you work to verify the location. Sometimes they ask for like a utility bill or something else that will determine that your place of business is the one that you're trying to verify for. The next question is, a friend of mine uses Flowdesk for her business and loves it. Do you have any experience with them? I do not have experience with Flowdesk. However, I have heard about it. And their email marketing, I think, is supposed to be really, really good for certain types of businesses. So, I mean, I can't really speak much to it, but I have heard positive things about it.
Okay, and then we've got a couple of questions in the chat, and one is, what are your thoughts on Wix, W-I-X, or Shopify?
So if it's for e-commerce, I would say go with Shopify if it was between those two. Wix is very limited for creating a shop online, and it's very rigid when it comes to payment systems as well. It makes you use theirs, and you can integrate a few others, but it's a little more expensive. So I would say Shopify is probably the place to go if you're going to be choosing between the two for e-commerce. If you had the capability, I would even recommend WordPress WooCommerce. That's our favorite to use for any shops that we have created for our clients and continue to manage. It is more reasonable. There's more flexibility with it, with the apps and the plugins and everything that you can put into it.
Okay. And the second question is, have you had any experience working with Strikingly host platform?
I have not. No, I have not heard of Strikingly at all.
Okay, and we've got another question in the chat. Let's see. If you have both a personal and business Instagram page, would you recommend deleting your personal page and driving all traffic to the business page?
I would say no, do not do that. So I would say your personal and your business page, it really depends how much you want to share and put out there, but I can give you my example. I have a personal Instagram page, I have my business page. A lot of my inquiries and business related questions actually come from my followers from my personal page. People follow you because they are interested in you, what you have to talk about personally, and they become invested in your stories or whatever you're sharing personally. That in a big portion as a small business can include a lot about your business. I share a lot of business stuff on my personal, but the audience is different, right? So I feel like sharing on both is going to be a plus point for you to be able to drive traffic to that business page as well. But deleting your personal, I feel it is going to hurt your business because you will have a different audience on there that could potentially share the stuff you're sharing there as well. So keep both.
Okay, thank you. And then another question, what's the difference between the web hosting company you recommended early in your presentation versus the website development companies?
So there's a massive difference over here because a web hosting company is a company that basically provides you server space to host things on. The website platform that you end up choosing has its own costs and its own different purposes. For example, host is the server space. The website platform is the builder that you are paying for to use and continue to access and update and manage your website on. So lots of different hosting companies provide you a space to put that website on, but the builder is really the one that you're going to decide on using.
Okay. And for now, I'm not seeing any other questions come up. I don't know if you want to wait a. Oh, I'm sorry. There is one more in the Q&A.
If the company I run operates primarily out of a home, but you want to publish that address. Okay. Yeah. So you can, even though your company does not have a, say a physical address, or you're working from home, you can still register it on Google Business Profile and publicly only have the city show. I would 100% say for near me searches, for location searches, things like that, to do that, because at least your city will populate and you will populate in the city or close to that city when people are searching. The way you do this is the same. So when you are setting up that Google Business Profile and they'll ask you to verify your address, even though you're verifying this address, that doesn't mean that they're going to make it public if you choose to say in one of their options that this is not a public space, or that you don't deliver services at this place. You can choose that option, but you still need to verify that location. Once the location is verified, you will still show up in that city and your address will not be public. It's only going to be accessible to you in the backend dashboard of Google Business Profile.
Okay, cool. No other questions have been added to chat and not seeing anything pop up in Q&A. So unless something comes in hot here at the last second, I would like to thank you a lot, Sama, for your expertise. This is all really, really good information for all of us that are, either starting or, managing their current business. So I would like to thank you very much for your time. For the folks that are on the call, if you could answer, there will be a survey that comes out. If you can answer that survey, we'd appreciate it. And also, you will also get a copy of the presentation along with this recording. And it looks like we have a late breaking question. Can Linktree be a resource for connecting users to your various platforms?
Yes, definitely. Linktree is something that has been used by a lot of people, especially on Instagram, when you weren't allowed to share more than one link in your profile. Now, I believe you can share up to 5, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, it's excellent way for you to be able to navigate people to different profiles you have. But again, you can also use your website to do just that. You can create a landing page that is going to be connected to all your other pages, and you can just put that landing page address in there.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that is it. So thanks again for your time, and thanks again to everyone that participated. And we'll see everyone at our next webinar. Thanks a lot, Sama. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.